I think you got a lot less risk associated with a marked vehicle that has markings on it.
Well, what I'm saying is I could go buy a car. I could very easily have the decals of any cab company and
Right, the
fake
cab
numbers
driver,
put on
right,
it.
and the cab drivers are issued a license or some type of identification.
Right, and I agree with that, but how many cab customers ask to see a taxi driver's license every time they get in a cab? I know I don't when I get into a cab. I just assume that when I call the cab company, their branded cab comes and picks me up, that it's the right one. I get what you're saying, and it's a very valid concern, and it's a good point. But what I'm saying is that there's no difference between somebody trying to, be an imposter as an Uber driver and somebody trying to be a cab driver. We talked about background checks and significance of background checks.
Listen, I'd have to disagree with you in that sense.
Okay.
Because a person driving down the street, getting pulled over by a marked unit, typically is going to make the safe assumption that a marked unit is a police officer.
Right.
Someone driving down the street in an unmarked black sedan such as the Crown Victoria, putting lights on and pulling somebody over, I think you're going to have a little bit different suspicion associated with it. So that's kind of no different than what I see in this scenario.
I completely agree with you.
Taxi being marked, and the taxi's got all of the markings on it, and anybody trying to present themselves as Uber, and if a rider challenges it, basically there's nothing that they can provide to them to show whether or not they are or aren't, because you guys aren't issuing any identification.
Well, I will say this: they do have a placard that they put in their car.
With an HP printer and an Apple computer.
Right, just like I could go and decorate a car to look like a police car. Yeah, I wouldn't pull over for anybody that doesn't look like a police car. I mean, I'm just saying it could happen either way.
If I could, 1 second. I think what's going on is this, our chairman is talking about a street hail, which is not allowed under the Uber system. It
Absolutely
happens,
not.
but it's not allowed. And how do you legitimize a street hail? So if I'm at the airport and somebody says, well, I'm an Uber driver and I'm a passenger, what really should happen, that's a street hail going on, which would not be on the system, would not be covered by insurance, would not, so don't take that ride because all of the Uber protections don't apply to you, even if it's a legitimate Uber driver.